Hey, hey, welcome to So What's Even Happening, the podcast where creative entrepreneurship meets real life self-care.
I'm Courtney, an artist and entrepreneur from LA.
And I'm Ziamara, a business owner and consultant from Oakland.
We're two Black women navigating the ups and downs of business building, fostering personal growth, and holding each other accountable.
Each week, we're sharing inspiring stories, facts, and some good laughs as we talk about creativity, self-care, and making it all work.
So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's figure out what's even happening together.
We're back for episode 2. And what are we talking about, Courtney?
We are talking about accountability.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, this is our year in review.
Yes.
Almost a year in of keeping each other accountable.
I know, it's crazy. And it's flown by. Has it not?
Right? What? Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
No. We just met.
Yeah.
Every week we've been tuning into each other.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, how's it been for you, Courtney?
I mean, it's been really wonderful. I think this year for me has just been the most focused. I've been able to show up for myself in ways that that maybe just surprised me. Something as simple as telling myself I'm proud of myself, learning to say that with confidence, and normalizing saying that even. Something I would never even think to have thought of. It's one thing for someone to tell you like, oh, I'm so proud of you, but to look back on what you've accomplished yourself and say, I'm proud of myself, I'm proud of me, it's just, I feel like that's been one of my biggest takeaways, just normalizing cheering for yourself, acknowledging your wins and saying like, I did that. So, how about you?
I think for me, I think as an entrepreneur who had a business prior to the pandemic and experiencing a lot of changes, going from really, really high highs to low lows to really questioning what's my next move in life.
Totally.
I think that for me, I personally have battled with just like self-confidence. And it has been really a game changer to have you as an accountability partner to really like help me remember who the fuck I am and to like not let me talk myself out of things.
Yeah.
And to keep going and to give me that extra push to really do the things that I said I was going to do.
It's like reminding you to think about the bigger picture, like why we're doing this.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's been huge.
Yeah.
Having someone to remind you of you're bigger than just this moment or whatever you may be going through. You're bigger than this. We're doing this because of something bigger.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think also just having that other person just be that to ask you the questions that you may not have thought about yourself because you're in your own like kind of world, your own bubble, especially as an entrepreneur, you're just kind of like a lone wolf, right? But then with that other person posing questions, especially who's someone who's not in the same exact lane as you are, who is genuinely asking questions and not like making assumptions and giving you a different perspective. I think that's really been enlightening for me. And I think that I, of course, would have done the things I said I would have, but maybe like not with the most confidence or like I would have delayed the enthusiasm because that has been lagging sometimes when I especially just want to rot. But also like that person that will tell you it's okay to fucking rest. Like you need to rest. Like that's the thing that
was a big thing for us.
It was
year.
huge, because the amount of guilt I have, like while trying to relax on a Sunday or whatever day that I feel tired and exhausted and can't move on, and to really enjoy that rest and to really be present
savor
and full, savor it, and then just the next day being full of productivity, just like killing all the shit that I wanted to kill for a long time.
One simple trick of being like, no, sit down and take a nap, rest, chill for a second. I feel like was something that surprised me too about this year, just how much we had to remind each other to do that. I think because we probably saw the year and just everything that we were doing as something we had to be super intentional every single step of the way, meaning on every single step of the way, but that's not sustainable. We all know that. Forcing yourself to rest yourself is hard, but when you have someone else and you're like, no, it's okay. Like you're allowed to do this. Like no one said you can't.
Yeah.
Only you told yourself that you can't. So that was huge. That actually really surprised me about this year is how much we had to force ourselves to actually rest. Because we ended up being more productive that way. Every time.
Every time.
Yeah.
Hands down.
We are pro rotting. Like
Yes, this is a community where we get your bonbons, like get your favorite blankie,
Yeah.
be disgusting.
Do what you need to do.
In your rotting.
Yeah.
And it's not a negative word here. If it's very positive,
Yes.
we support it.
Yes, it's a form of self-care.
You just need to lay the fuck down.
You really do.
Yeah.
Like calm down. Like chill out for a minute.
I
You'll
think
feel better.
I think the best analogy that I but my therapist told me was that we all need rest in the way that we are like our cell phones. And if we don't fully charge, like we'll always be like needing to charge.
Yeah.
And I remember I would be feeling like, okay, I'm at like 80% today, and then I work myself down to the ground and I'm at 10, and then I start to recharge, but I only get to 50%.
Yeah.
So I'm only at half the level of capacity that I can
Yeah.
operate at. And then you go back down again. And you just go back to 50, 60, but never the full 100%.
Never full charge, yep.
But if you just wait a little bit longer,
Yeah.
if you like really drink some more water,
Yeah.
like really get some sun,
Yeah.
like just do the things that you love to do.
Well, and we have time. That's the thing. We think we don't. We think we don't have time to rest, but we really do have time. Carving out 10 minutes to just step outside and just look at the sun, just take a deep breath outside.
Breath work.
Something. Like it really goes a long way.
Truly.
Anyway.
I think, that's been for me, like in my year of review of like an accountability partner, to really, that kind of space like we talked about and the reminders and just like the extra push.
Yeah.
But in a way that's like very like loving and very warm and again, safe. I think we even said safe like 88 times.
Totally.
Now,
Totally. And I want to reiterate the fact that we are in two different fields and spaces, really cities. Like I feel like there's something that really is almost helpful about that versus, because like you said, sometimes just being an entrepreneur is a lonely world. Being an artist it's a solo game most of the time. So it's not like I have coworkers like that or someone checking in to say like, oh, you're doing a great job, or like a manager. Like it's not necessarily like that for me. So having a safe space where I am getting validation, someone is asking questions, simply out of curiosity is really helpful to just keep your mind just in this momentum of going forward and just figuring it out versus throwing your hands up and just not doing anything and just procrastinating, putting it off till tomorrow. But we have to show up for each other. Like that's a part of the game. It's not even the game, but a part of the partnership.
And now we have a whole business. We started a podcast. This is stuff that we just never thought that we would want to do. But I think in terms of also our learnings is like to incorporate more fun in life.
Yeah.
Especially like as creatives, like we thrive off of fun. We thrive off of the ideas that we come up with and like bringing them to life. Yeah. Whether we're making money off it or not, like I think it's just more of just about like our journey and what we're getting out of it. Yeah. Happiness.
Yeah, because I feel like even just growing up, you're used to putting in work and then having fun later. It's like this, you're working to have fun, but it's like, why can't you work and have fun?
Right.
Why can't work be fun? Yeah. Like, because this is fun. It should be fun. Why can't it be? You know? And here we are.
And that's that.
Just having fun.
So in our first episode, we talked about how two things brought us to become accountability partners. And the first one was Mel Robbins' High Five Habit book.
Right.
And I had recommended that to Courtney, and how for me it kind of just like reignited my insides,
Totally.
reignited everything of how I wanted to really get back in the saddle and get my life back into my own hands, my own control.
Yeah.
In that book, it basically is great for someone when you are feeling in a way that you feel stuck and you are the person that is in the way of you being stuck. And it's through procrastination, through self-sabotage, negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, all of that.
Yep.
And a simple habit of high-fiving yourself in the mirror and how that was such a game changer. I didn't read it. I did the audiobook. Courtney, you read it.
I did.
And that was the book that really kind of brought us together in then starting our next journey into the 2024 Make Your Best Year Yet. Also by Mel Robbins. We're kind of Mel Robbins freaks here.
Yeah.
Like we, if she had a cult, do you have a cult? If she had a cult, we might join, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Sip the Kool-Aid.
We it's good
Probably tastes
Kool-Aid.
good.
Yeah, right.
It's probably organic.
Right. Totally. No artificial anything.
No jitters, no crash.
Nothing.
Lowers your cortisol.
Totally.
I hear that word again about cortisol.
I swear to God.
I mean, but it's true.
It really is.
Okay.
It really
We're
is.
talking about cortisol another time. But I think that I know that when we did the workbook, we did it separately, but we reviewed it together, like our answers. And it's like a 20-page workbook?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. And you could download it, melrobbins.com, I think. And in that is where we kind of learned about each other, I would say.
Yeah, it's the I guess to summarize the workbook, you kind of do like a deep dive on like your past, present, and future, and kind of determine like where you've been, where you want to be going, where you see yourself, just kind of just to really like expose any blocks, creative blocks, things like that. And yeah, it was really just eye-opening for ourselves, and even to share it with someone, and be vulnerable with our fears of success, even our fears of just all just change, newness. And it was really, I feel like for me, I feel like my word that I wanted to like work on for the future was consistency and discipline. I remember those two things sticking out pretty big for me. And that's kind of just like what we were kind of making the focus. And I think at the beginning we'd pick like a word for the week or a word for the month, and like or a theme even. Yeah. And it's like, this is the word, or like being intentional or being more present or being consistent, and using those things to kind of help guide us in our everyday.
Yeah.
Which I thought was great.
Yeah. I think also in that book, we also, because at the time when we started, we didn't really know each other like that well.
True.
And her first and last name. She lives in LA.
Right.
That we share a best friend.
Right.
And she's an artist.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even really have a lot of Aquarii friends. Is that how you say it?
Except me, yeah.
What's
yeah.
the plural of
I don't know.
Aquarius? Aquaria. Whatever.
Aquarii.
And I have a lot of those. I'm like, damn, I don't even know how they operate. Like, I'm a Cancer. Sun, Moon, Libra rising. Like, and so I was just like, well, we gonna find out.
Yeah.
This might not be successful. It might, whatever, it's gonna be a great case study.
Yeah, it was. I have a lot of Cancer friends.
Okay.
That's the thing too. That's
Okay,
like,
yeah.
like, oh yeah, this feels familiar. Yeah.
I know. We know y'all love us. Okay, you guys want to complain about cancers being, you're so sensitive and blah blah blah. You guys are crying all the time. Y'all motherfuckers love us. Okay, can't get enough of us. Okay, so stop.
We do.
Exactly.
We do. We
All
really
right.
do. Let's be honest.
Okay, enough of that. For me, in doing the workbook together, it really it showed like we talked about fears and our personal struggles. and where we want to be and who we want to be, because we're changing every single day.
Every day.
Right? So I think that really also helped us learn
Yeah.
about us and where we're going, and
Yeah.
so we can make sure that we're in alignment
Yeah.
and how one of us, what each other operates.
Yeah. And like what we needed, like the support we needed. It's not the good thing about this workbook. It really just helped uncover so many different things that were unique to each of us.
Right.
And I think that helped us support each other in the ways that we knew we needed support. With the consistency thing, like I said, I was coming off of a year of being an artist full time and just like, doing whatever, just kind of figuring it out as I go, piecemealing things together. But I knew I needed consistency. Like I knew that like consistency and discipline would help me kind of wrangle everything that I was going through. And it really helped. It really just kind of put me in check, like kept me in line to make better, more intentional decisions for my future.
Yeah.
That I didn't realize I needed until
Yeah.
we started doing this.
Yeah. And even just the confidence boost for me, like that I was really needing more than ever, because I also have a background in just in business and sales and marketing and just personal development. I know like how to hype myself up, and I know like what I need to do. But like when you hit a different level of, I don't want to say low, but just a different level. I don't know. And also post pandemic, now in this recession, now like kind of figuring out my life again. Not my life, but their new direction,
new
area,
chapters.
new chapters.
Yeah.
And so really having that sure footing to go with confidence and to know that you're supported.
Yeah.
And also in an area where like we can't put everything on our partners, on our moms, on our dads, best friends, uncles, or whoever, therapists. Our therapists are just our therapists. Like they're not everything else. Yeah. And one person can't be your everything. And so I think having that dedicated person who is there for you for like the goals that you set with that person in your own life, not in like your personal life or anything like that. Even though we do talk about our personal lives a lot.
We do.
I would say the first 20 minutes of all of our...
Of course. I mean, just naturally, you're going to...
What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, really, bitch, guess what?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, all of that. So I think that just naturally comes with it.
Yeah.
But we do, like, definitely, like, okay, we're sidetracked. Let's get back on.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So you guys might be wondering, what do y'all do in your accountability meetings? Like, what does Mondays...
Are we just chit-chatting or something?
Chatting. What do Mondays at 10 look like?
Yeah.
Okay. Usually I'm in my robe.
This is true.
Or a workout outfit.
Yeah.
Or both. It's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
We definitely both have our coffees.
Yes.
That's important.
Yes. That's
non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable.
Just like we have to meet every week.
Yeah.
That's non-negotiable.
Yeah.
It's definitely the first 5, 10, sometimes 20 minutes is like a catch up, like what's going on in our lives.
Like what happened. Keep in mind it's Monday, so it's like the weekend's happened.
So what's even happening?
Right.
That is really what we're kind of like going on.
Yeah.
Like, we did a lot of like traveling this year. So she was in Europe gallivanting for 2. Yes, you was gallivanting.
I was.
We took a little break.
I took a little break.
She's in some hotel. Bitch, what city are you in? What time is it?
I know we had to coordinate, but we were still on. We were in different. I was in different places. So were you too.
Barely.
We haven't even talked about
what?
The angel numbers.
Oh my god.
Because that was a thing with the call.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
So 5, 10. You see how it gets to 20 minutes
This is
and we
what
get
happens.
sidetracked?
This is what happens.
Right. But we do acknowledge that we have this luxury because we work for ourselves, and so we like kind of have that buffer around our times and that kind of stuff. But so we personal lives catch up.
Yep.
And then it's kind of okay. So what's even happening? Like what's happening this week in our businesses? Like what are we preparing for? What's like things we're excited about?
Yeah.
New shipment, new
Goals.
designs,
Yeah.
photo shoot.
Yeah.
You got
Upcoming
shows,
meetings, shows, just
new techniques.
Yeah.
All of that. And then it's funny for me to even get an idea of like what the fuck goes on in an art world, you know?
Well, it's like your friends. It's like you don't know what your friends do for a living. Like that whole
Exactly.
thing. It's
Yes.
like it's cool insight. That's why I feel like I'm curious about your like what you do, what other we have friends who are doctors and just like
Right.
just like what do you do? Like
Yeah.
that's great. Just it's crazy.
Even to learn that Aaron was chief of podiatry.
Just casually.
I was like, you're a chief?
Right.
He's like, yeah.
What? I'm like, you didn't even tell me.
What do you think I just do? Hack off bunions all day?
Right. I mean, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Talk about those current things that are happening
Yeah.
and what's coming up, how we're feeling about it too.
Yeah.
I think
that's a
also-
huge one.
Right.
I think that's something that we both kind of just know, especially being familiar with personal development is, feeling has a lot to do with how you move, the actions you take, the next steps you take, just those types of things. And I
Yeah.
think that feeling is a big part of it.
Right.
It's not just getting the work done. It's how you feel about it. It's having a meeting. How do you feel after that meeting?
Right.
Preparing for something. How do you feel going into it? How are you feeling after?
Yeah.
Really taking inventory of your feelings.
Right.
So a lot of that check-in time, even when we're talking about our goals, has to do with how do we feel about all this? So
Yeah.
what's even happening? Like
Yeah.
what's going on inside around
Right.
all this? Yeah.
And even just problem solving. Like, I don't know what to do with the situation.
Yeah.
Like, this is actually driving me crazy.
Right.
Like, is this making dollars and making sense?
Right.
Like, what's, like,
Yeah.
can you just even bounce ideas off of, like, your accountability partner and problem solve? And
Yeah.
just to, like, even, I think sometimes you've helped me envision bigger. Like, well, why wouldn't that happen?
Right.
Like, because I shitted on something that I proposed or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that's really important as well.
1,000%.
And then next, what we talk about is how can I help you get to, like, finish this goal that you want to
Yeah.
accomplish?
Yeah.
What's a timeline for this?
Yeah. What needs to get done by next Monday? Or
Right.
what is the goal for this upcoming project? How can I support you?
Yeah.
Do you need a reminder? Do you need a check-in? Do you need to hop on another call? Like whatever it may be.
Yeah.
It's really just kind of making sure each call ends in some sort of action.
Yeah. And because that's the important part, especially if
Yeah.
there are sometimes we are both in, like, we get on the call and we look at each other and we are in a meh mood. Like,
Struggling.
because we had
Yeah.
both busy weekends,
Yeah.
because whatever it may
We
be.
didn't rest enough and pushed
got
ourselves
shitty
too hard.
sleep,
Yeah.
like whatever,
Sleep, yeah.
whatever it may be. And so instead of, like, having a bad call, we always, like, try to end it on what's good and what's happening.
Yeah.
And we also, as personal development junkies,
Yeah.
like,
Literally. Like can't get enough of it.
pop that,
Yeah. Right. Right.
pop and smoke it, whatever.
Totally.
It's bad. No, personal development is positive.
Yeah. It's all good stuff.
It's healthy, we promise.
Yes. We've turned personal development into a hardcore drug.
I know, we're turning into the cold.
But at the end of the day, it's like
It's a cold I'd rather be a part of.
1,000%. And it's also, I will say this about personal development, because I feel like some people kind of have like a woo-woo vibe about it. Like,
Yes, the woo-woo shit.
yeah. But it's really something that I feel like once you get into it, you feel, or you understand what works for you. You embody practices and habits that are in tune and in alignment with you and where you're going. It's not about pushing the agenda on anyone else.
Right.
It's really just, it starts inside first. And that's the energy that we put out naturally because we're so invested in it. I believe.
Invested. They ain't gonna make it.
And
And some of the things that we do, like, we don't just talk once a week.
right. Yeah.
It's every day. It's constant.
15 minutes after the call is done.
Done.
Like, yeah.
Oh, here's that recipe I wanted to share with
Right.
you, whatever. But we are also equally obsessed with angel numbers.
Yeah.
What is an angel number? This is a repeating number. 111, 11111, 222, 333, 44.
Yep.
Whether it's on an address, the clock.
Yep.
Most of the time it's the clock.
It's usually a phone.
Yeah, on
that's
the
where
phone
we always
or
are.
whatever.
Yeah.
Just we'll take pictures and send it to each other. Like, oh, look at this number.
Yeah.
How many likes or shares that we've seen on a news feed and
Yeah,
we'll just,
finding the numerology just
Yes.
in everything.
obsessed with numerology.
Yeah.
What are we also obsessed with? Animals.
We are.
So
Yeah. How many times we've Googled the symbolism of seeing
Yes.
some animal or
the
something.
symbolism of animals is crazy, and I think this happens more for me because
Yeah.
I live in East Oakland, right? But I don't know why I have seen peacocks, turkeys,
Oh yeah.
owls, raccoons, possums. I have my own dog.
She's a Disney princess.
I
let's
am
be
a
honest.
Disney princess. I am Snow White, Snow Black. I am she. You got the red lips, the short black
Black.
hair. I am Snow Black.
Yeah.
Like literally, they follow me everywhere. The butterflies, the
Yeah.
hummingbirds.
Yeah.
This bitch does not like butterflies.
Yeah.
What?
They're basically moths. They're moths. And that's disgusting. Anything that can fly, that's like leverage. And it's like, I can't fly. How can I compete with that? I don't want that near me. It makes sense in my head.
I need you guys to help pray for me and my friendship with Courtney. I'm just butterflies.
I know.
The most beautiful monarchs.
Ugh.
Hello.
Sorry.
Who barfs at the thought of a butterfly?
I'm not with it. I'm not with it. No. Crickets, grasshopper, anything that can jump,
We've looked
fly.
at symbolism of crickets too. I had a cricket in my house. That means good luck.
Yeah.
A lot of
Grasshoppers too.
Grasshoppers.
Remember the
as
grass?
well.
I told you about the grasshopper that came in my car. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
I sold a painting that day. I sold 2.
Yeah.
And I saw a
because-
grasshopper.
Exactly. So maybe you should be a little more open to
Maybe.
these creatures.
I mean, from a distance, like, I can appreciate
they're not
it.
hopping on you.
It did, though.
On you?
On Jews, it hopped on the car. I
Right.
told you. It was
Yes,
crazy.
yes,
And I
yes.
freaked out. It was a whole thing.
I'm just glad you guys weren't driving
Can you imagine being on the freeway?
in LA,
Oh.
trying to make a left-hand turn.
I know.
That has got to be the most stressful thing.
It is.
In LA.
It is.
Not even the traffic. It's like trying to make a left-hand turn, and
It
you're the
can be
first
tricky.
one.
No, it can be tricky. There's a lot of pressure.
So much. Like I've ran so many red lights
Yeah.
in that city.
Yeah. It happens.
So that is basically what kind of happens in our accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah. We turn into best friends,
Yeah.
which is a good thing.
It's an amazing thing. That's why it makes it so great.
But I think what made it a good match is because we didn't have as much background on each other.
Yeah.
And really got it to learn.
Yeah.
And we had a genuine interest in our own goals and dreams.
Our own growth and yeah.
And just having the other person to really tether to, but also just the inspo. The inspo that you get when you are someone else, the energy, y'all feed it off each other.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
is the most important thing. You are who your friends are. You really are around the people that you spend the most time with.
Yeah.
And so you really have to be cognizant of what the other person is saying to you and about themselves or about the world, and to make sure that you're in alignment with that, because you can easily adopt that negative energy and pessimistic point of view just through osmosis.
Absolutely. And energy, for me personally, I'm an artist in every sense of the word. So energy is just, the vibe, it's very, very important to me. And I think in terms of finding an accountability partner, the energy that you kind of share and exchange with someone is really important, because especially even us being in different fields, it's there's never been any judgment, no competition, no, when something happens, it's we're the first to cheer for each other.
We're the first to share it.
Exactly.
Before I tell my parents, I'm like, bitch, guess what?
Yeah.
You see screenshots of
Yeah.
email, screenshots of just nice messages
Guess
that
what
we
happened?
receive from people.
Totally.
We're always first to share it with,
Yeah.
because we created that safe space.
Yeah.
And we truly, truly want that for
Yeah.
one another.
And that's an exchange of energy too. That energy exchange just it flows, it circulates, you know. And I think that's really important. Getting in the habit of doing that, not being afraid to say, "Hey, this happened to me and it's really exciting. I can't wait to share it with you."
Right.
And having someone on the other end be like, "Oh my God, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you." Sometimes that's all you need.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. No haters.
Yeah. Bye, hater.
Bye. What hater? No.
Right.
Okay, so we just wrapped up episode 2. We talked about what brought us together,
Yeah.
how the journey's been over a year of being each other's accountability partners.
How just being accountable has changed our lives for the better.
Yeah,
Like, what? Like, this is amazing.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And stay tuned for the next episodes.
I know.
That we're going to talk about amazing topics that I feel like are super relatable,
Yeah.
that we're all going through.
Yeah. That we're currently going through too. That's the thing too. It's like, this isn't
Yes.
we're not like, you know, telling a story of back in the day we did this and this is what you can learn from it. No, we're in it.
Yeah.
We're just as much in it as we are sharing it.
Yeah.
And it just feels like the right time to just keep sharing. And we know how to talk, so.
This is us sober.
Right. Right. We are a great time.
Yes.
So,
All right,
yeah.
so stay tuned for the next episode. And that's all.
yeah. See you next time. And
Good smack.
yes.
You hate when you miss something? Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of whack.
womp, womp, yeah.
Did you play sports?
Right.
Do you know how to...
High
Gotta-
five. That's the whole high five.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in to So What's Even Happening. We hope you got a little inspiration and maybe a laugh or two.
If you love this episode, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. It really helps us grow. You can find us on YouTube and all your favorite podcast platforms.
And follow us on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at So What's Even Happening for more behind the scenes fun, tips, and updates.
Until next time, take care of yourself and keep making moves toward your dreams.
And remember, we're rooting for you, always.